Ryan, another guy, he's been here 4 years, and the story sticks out to me with Ryan is the old athletic director, Coach McIver. I don't know what she calls herself these days. She changed roles, but she called me on the phone one day in like February before Ryan came out and said there's a guy, Ryan, who plays more baseball and basketball, but he apparently used to play a little bit of tennis, and that's all I really knew about him. And then I kept talking to her a little bit, and then she found a little bit more out about him, and we were like, well, yeah, he should definitely come out for tennis. And it was evident that he did not just play a little bit of tennis when you were little, he played a lot of tennis. And Ryan came out his first year, and we were on a very strong team, and he was exposed to a lot of really strong players right out of the gate, and he was able to hang in there with those guys that first year to where we had him in basically the starting lineup for the beginning of the year, and then that year ended up being a lot of cancellations with COVID and whatnot, to where both Ryan and Adidia did end up losing basically a year of their high school career coming in. But it is what it is, and Ryan was able to put that behind him and play a ton of tennis in those first years to get back to where probably a routine of where he was probably earlier when he was playing a lot more in his life. But he was able to get in there and start playing with those better players, stronger players when he was a freshman and sophomore. And at that point, it was evident that he was elevating his game back to where he could pretty much play with anybody. And his sophomore year, he played singles and made it all the way to a deep run in the state playoffs in the individual tournament, all the way to the state semifinals, and ended up losing to the guy that won the whole thing. And he was a big part of our team that year that won the state championship on the team that year. And last year finished that up playing primarily number one as a guy who ended up going in doubles with Alex last year to the state championship, and had a really close one. They ended up losing to the eventual state champions. But both years in individuals made all-state recognition, and as you can see, this year's played number one for us, and they handled all the challenge we see from every other team every day in, day out. And we appreciate the leadership. Been a captain for us, and is a guy I feel like I can count on as an extension of the coach. I feel like his maturity levels to where he's definitely a leader, and that's going to translate well. Whatever you guys end up doing in your lives, all three of you, I can tell, are mature enough to where you, in a lot of ways, don't really seem like seniors to me. You seem like you're ready to take the next step into the college and whatever life brings you, wherever you opt to go. And again, Ryan, appreciate everything you've done. It's going to be nearly impossible to try and replace you next year, but we'll manage however we can. But he's going to hurt for sure. But we're going to appreciate the time we've had and use the rest of this year to really zero in on trying to maximize what we can do with you while you're here. And again, I've written y'all some personal notes in there as well. You can read later tonight or whenever. But the biggest takeaway for me was the three of these guys are kind of where I want everybody else to get to as far as maturity and leadership, and just being able to get through a lot. Again, these guys, and I know all of you have been affected by the COVID year, weird stuff with school throughout the last few years for you guys, and